My name's Douglas Shaw and this is the Lake CX333. This shoe is available in white, it's available in white on white, which is a microfiber upper, it's not a leather upper, and it's also available in a black leather upper as well. And all three models I think look fantastic. I don't have the black one in here. These shoes are just out, so it's really great for me to actually have got them. But I'll get a picture of the black one up on the screen just now, so you can have a look at it. I think they all look amazing. Coming back, I've actually also released a relatively technical video just comparing the features as such between the CX333 and its predecessor, the 332, for those of you who have maybe tried the old shoe and are maybe considering an upgrade, or have tried the old shoe and maybe didn't like it and want to know more about the new shoe. But again, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to focus straight in on the CX333. Primarily, I think it looks great. I think Lake have done a great job. The kangaroo leather, it's a little bit shiny, but it's also a little bit matte. They've also matted out the sole of the shoe, the carbon outsole, and it just complements the way that it's all put together, especially with the Li2 boa dials. I think this shoe just looks really, really great, and also looks very similar to their flagship model now, the CX403. Moving away from the looks, this is Lake's Race Last. Now the Race Last is it's the most aggressive last that Lake make. So what that means really is the difference in height between the ball of the foot and the heel is, the heel is elevated relative to the ball. So that just kind of primes the ball of the foot on the pedal, so it's ready to go. And there's a slight toe flare at the front, and that again just kind of complements that. When you're pushing into the pedal, it just really primes everything and gets your foot, the ball of the foot, just really feel like exposed to the floor. So that's a nice feature. I like the shape of the last, and I find it works for cyclists in a fit studio who are really looking for a shoe that will help them get everything out of themselves. The Race Last has three widths, so they've got the narrow width, they've got the regular width, and the wide width. The wide is the same as the old extra wide, the regular is the same as the old wide, and narrow is the same as the old regular. Other features, if you like, in the outsole and the shape of the shoe that really add to its performance, as you can see that the sole is slightly curved at the bottom. Maybe if I can just get the light to catch it so you can see it in the camera. Now that just provides, this is your foot, a little bit in the sole to hold your foot in place when you're going up and down in that circular motion, but it's never compressing the foot. And then the way that the upper is attached to the shoe, the upper then encapsulates around your foot, because there's just plenty of it. So they're not stingy with the leather or the upper material at all. They've just kind of made sure that the leather goes up and round over the top, as opposed to tightening up around your foot and then compressing it. As soon as your foot gets compressed in any cycling shoe, by the way, and this is very important for sizing, as soon as your foot gets compressed from the side, the ball of your foot kind of cups and you miss that contact in the middle, leaving you with a very sore outside or inside of your foot. And then your whole foot just feels like a plank of wood, and your ankle goes into too high a position and it just strains your knee and hip. So you really want to watch out. And if you're not unsure with sizing on that matter, please get in touch with me. I can help you out over a video call. Just go to edinburghbikefitting.com and just connect with us, or leave a comment and I can reach out and we can help you out with sizing. Now, moving away from that, shameless plug, the heel cup is very tight fitting. So here, there's absolutely no slip, and the way that it's shaped around the posterior aspect of your heel goes in deep into that shoe every time. Put the shoe on, knock your foot back, do the ankle boa up first, and you're just going to find that the shoe is just encapsulating your heel, but still very comfortable. And then when you put the shoe into the oven and use the carbon, the carbon panels, it just sort of takes that. It just takes the control and that comfort and that security around the heel to another level compared to certainly the competition levels, competition last shoes below it, and lots of other shoes on the market. Any shoe with a heat moldable heel cup really just allows if you like, maximum security for the cyclist wearing them. Heel shape is super deep inside these shoes. So when you put your foot inside the shoe, knock it back, really your ankle goes right in, and your heel bone, especially around the posterior aspect here, is really encapsulated, so to the point of just maximum security, maximum performance. So your ankle really can just, if you like, be controlled. So when you're driving up and down in that circular motion, your heel's not going anywhere. There's no heel slippage at all. And the leather material inside the shoe, I think this was on purpose. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's almost like sticky to the touch. Now, not sticky that it feels minging, but sticky in the sense of when your foot goes in, if you've got a really slack inner, if you like, inside the shoe, your foot's going to be washing around, and it's going to feel terrible, because after a while your foot's going to try and control that movement. And when you're inside the shoe, just the feeling of it inside, your foot's going nowhere. So you have, as soon as your foot moves a tiny bit, the shoe's moving right with it. So in terms of your brain knowing where your foot is in space, there's plenty of control. And if you like, they've maximized your brain's ability to know where your foot is in space, because the shoe moves instantly the second your foot does. And kind of going into like other complementary features of that, the cleat position is right back, so it's right underneath the ball of your foot where you want it to be, and not underneath the tip of your toes. So like, again, like your leg is in the prime position to maximize that transfer of power, and this just all complements. So other things that kind of then take that to the next level would be the carbon fiber panel on the inside. So when you push down, if you have an unstable arch, what you find is this kind of medial aspect of your foot. If this is unsupported, or if your foot is, again, just like super floppy, so maybe you've got flat feet, or they roll in when you walk, or you walk very externally rotated and you roll in. When you're when you're pedaling and you're pushing up and down, this carbon panel stops and really minimizes how much internal roll there is. So your shin's not going to rotate in, and keeps your knees up and down going straight a lot nicer. So this is one really nice feature. In combination with that, the way that the tongue of the shoe is now physically attached to the medial aspect of the shoe itself, when you tighten up the boas, you're actually tightening this supportive panel into the inside of your foot. So when you push down, your foot's not going to roll in. That just means that when you drive into the pedal, all of the power is going into the pedal and not into the upper of the shoe, flexing it and washing it around everywhere. So it seems like a simple feature, but it really does add a lot in terms of how the shoe feels when you're driving down. And I know this from experience, because with the Lake CX333 shoe, which has the same panel here, and the 242 shoes, so that Lake's bringing it kind of out slowly in all of their shoes, this panel really adds a lot compared to shoes that don't have it. So yeah, it's this alone, this kind of combination of the kind of pulling the upper over and supporting that inside part of your foot, this feature alone is like a massive step forward. The shape of the, if you like, upper and toe box is very, very generous. So sometimes I find, especially with shoes that have this kind of curved front, if you like, curved toe section here, the upper, if it's very, very tight, you can see it sticks out a little bit more around the side of the shoe. But what I find is, if you like, the big toe can get pushed, and you know, if you might find this in your shoes, the shoe feels good. A size bigger would be too big, but in the size that you're in, there's maybe a little bit too much kind of pressing in on the big toes. So they've done their best, as I said kind of previously, to add as much upper material as possible to minimize the chances of this happening to you in this shoe. The other thing about the leather shoes in the range is the leather softens off after a while as well, so it just begins to feel really good. The last really great feature about the shoe that I personally love, that I haven't featured on yet or talked about yet, is the distance between these two boas. And I just want to say how good I find that feature is for people with different shaped feet. So it just maximizes the number of people that shoe's going to work for. And I'll go into some detail. So if you think about this being your foot, now some people have a foot that is kind of quite flat from the ankle, the front of the ankle to the toes. Some people have a very pronounced arch, and this is just kind of natural different foot shapes. Now, if your boas are very close together, that means that you've got the shoe tightening around the ankle as it should, and then with the boa maybe very close to the other one, you're tightening, you know, maybe the middle part of your foot up, but the toes are flapping around. When you increase the distance of the boas and you put your shoe on your foot properly and tighten them up properly, all of a sudden, all of that washiness and that toe curling and that trying to figure out where your foot is when you're pedaling just goes away, and it feels so much better. And so this increase in distance between the boa dials has really just taken this shoe from what was already one of the best shoes on the market, the old 332. They've transformed that shoe and just, you know, they've really put it up there with one of the best cycling shoes you can buy if you're trying to maximize your power output, minimize any feeling of washing around, and just get everything out of a shoe that will help you, if you like, make the most out of your riding. From a performance point of view, it's comfy as well. It's not just all performance, no comfort. This shoe really, I mean, this shoe for me is my comfy shoe, and my Lake CX433 is my kind of race max out shoe. So yeah, well, the 332 was my comfy shoe, and I'm definitely going to be buying myself a pair of these for Christmas, I think. So yeah, that really summarizes my review of the Lake CX333. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and any questions about this shoe, drop them into the comments and I'll try and get back to everyone if I can. Thank you very much.